everybody, what's going on? It's your girl, Shelly Jones, and welcome to the Shelly Jones Show. Oh my gosh, this is episode 3. Can you believe it? We are on episode 3. So excited. I have like so much more for you guys. I have booked so many guests and just all this and all that. So we are really rolling with this right now, you guys. Listen, let's take care of some business because you know we need to get this taken care of. I will not be on Facebook for long. So if you want to continue to see the show, you're going to have to move on over to YouTube. So I'm going to need you to go to YouTube, Shelly Jones, put Shelly Jones and then subscribe and push that notification button. There you go. You see it right there on the screen. And the other thing I need you guys to do is if you are really enjoying the show, I need you to share it with people. Talk about it. You know, while you're around the water cooler or the coffee pot or at Starbucks or whatever you guys do at work, or, you know, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a hairstylist talking to your girls, make sure you tell them about the Shelly Jones Show on YouTube. Shelly Jones, Scheli Jones. All right, cool. I have got a show for you today. So you guys know we have been doing this segment on purpose, right? And dreams and visions and all that kind of stuff. So the first segment I did, this segment, I told you guys I was gonna bring on my girl, Dr. Sunshine, Shalonda Crawford, and she is a psychotherapist. So she's gonna get y'all right mentally, right? Mind your mind. Okay, remember that because you're gonna hear that in the interview. I had to do this interview pre-recorded because my girl is very busy. But trust me, you don't want to miss this because it is jam-packed with some serious stuff. So let's get in it. Yes.
Let me take a moment.
Hey, dolls.
Sometime next week. Maybe I can help. I know you've been calling. My phone is on do not disturb. And no, it's not personal. I just need some me time.
I want to tell you about this podcast.
Just when my mood swings, coming back around, working through a few days.
My gosh. Okay, y'all, if you don't know, let me tell you, that song is my baby girl, Darian Janelle. You guys need to go download her song. You can get it on all streaming platforms. Y'all know what that is better than I do. So go Apple, you know, all them places that you can get it. Y'all go get it. Spotify. It's called Mood Swing by Darian Janelle. All right. Speaking of mood swing, let's get into our first segment of the show, which is called Mood Swing. How do you swing your mood? I love this segment because every day we have an opportunity to just have stuff just get on our nerves, right? And me, I try to bring it back right away because your girl has got a lot going on and I don't have no time to be letting my attention be distracted from what I got going on. So I got a funny video for you guys. Okay, so you guys check this out. I love to watch funny videos and it just helps me to swing my mood. So let's check this out. Daryl, we got it coming up. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, she just gave up, right? She was I cannot get back up. That is so funny. So listen, if you have any videos on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, TikTok that swing your mood, or even videos that are cute, you know, like babies and kittens and dogs or whatever, that, you know, swing your mood. When you're in a bad mood, it just helps you to swing your mood to the right way. Send them to your girl. You can email me at shelly@shellyjones.biz. Send me that link, y'all, so we can put it on here and I'm gonna give you guys credit. All right. But was that not funny? That was like so funny. Oh my gosh. So hilarious. All right. Let's keep it moving. This is the segment where it's called On My Way Up. On my way up. On my way up. Yes. Let's just bask in this for a second. I love this song. This segment is about those of us who are doing everything we can to keep going up. Keep going up, right? You know, this show is about inspiring, educating, and motivating. So that means you always have to be doing something to grow, okay? And when you put forth that effort to do something to grow, great things happen. So the person that we are highlighting today that has been putting forth the effort and they on their way up is none other than my husband, Brent Jones. Woo! Let's clap it up for him. So I'm so proud of my baby. So he has released his new album. And if you guys know anything about, hey, Tanya, if you guys know anything about the music industry, you have to work hard to get radio stations to add you. So he was added in Atlanta, which is a major market. So woo, 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 woo. Atlanta, y'all about to be blessed. And he charted on Billboard for gospel. So that's cool too. So that's on his way up. I know he puts a lot of hard work in and it paid off. So babe, you are on your way up. All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's see what else I have on the list. So we're going to get into this recorded interview with Dr. Shalonda Crawford. I introduced her on the video, but before we get into this recorded interview, there's some things that I need to clean up because, you know, things happen every day. And I just want to share some things with you guys. So when we did this interview, the story had just broke maybe a day later about Nicole Linton. If you don't know who Nicole Linton is, Nicole is the 37-year-old nurse, traveling nurse from Houston who blew through the intersection in Los Angeles at Slauson and La Brea going between 80 and 90 miles an hour, and she killed 6 people, but she walked away from it. So Dr. Shalonda and I kind of touched on that subject. And one of the things that I mentioned was that supposedly a friend of hers had said she had been drinking because she had had an argument with her boyfriend. And I used it as an example in an interview. You'll see, but I need to clarify some things, okay? And I'm going to read it because I don't want to miss anything. I want to be a responsible reporter, so I want to clarify. So according to CBS News, okay, a reporter, Nicole Comstock from KCAL 9, according to District Attorney George Gascon, he stated that there was no evidence suggesting Linton was driving under the influence. So now they're saying that she was not under the influence. So things change every day. The story is unfolding. So I want to be fair because I'm extremely sensitive to the families. I'm extremely sensitive to the news and what's going on. So I wanted to clarify that first before we got into this interview. Okay, so I'm really excited about the interview. You guys, if she drops some nuggets about purpose, what purpose is and what purpose isn't. And remember this phrase, mind your mind. All right, Velvet Voice in the Sky, my producer, Daryl, are you there? Can you say hi to the people before we go to the recording? He's going to laugh first, you guys.
I would say that.
Because I know you are. I know you're going to laugh.
Hello, everyone.
All right, you guys. Daryl, let's go ahead and get into this interview.
All right, here we go.
Everybody, what is going on with you? This is, of course, you know, my show, the Shelley Jones Show. And I am so excited to introduce to you my friend, my girl, Dr. Shalonda Crawford, otherwise known as Dr. Sunshine. Listen, she comes to you with a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. I mean, I feel like she's been in school ever since she was 2 years old, because like as many degrees as she's got. But I'm just so excited to have her here because even though she's my friend, you know, it's cool to say that people are your friends and all that kind of stuff, but she drops so much knowledge. I mean, just the information that she drops and just her ability to be able to put together the spiritual side and the mental health side. So I wanted to bring her in on this interview because, you know, we've been talking about this, will the real me stand up and all that kind of stuff. And as I said prior to this interview in the show, I told you guys about my son-in-law and how that has just really affected me. And it's made me think about this segment differently. So I'm going to have her come on and introduce herself to you and tell you guys what she's packing, what she's bringing as she spits this knowledge. So Doc, I lovingly call her Doc. So Doc, why don't you come on and talk to the people and tell them about yourself?
You know what? That is just a huge intro. I don't know how to follow up behind the intro. I don't know what to say. Yeah, man, I am a psychotherapist licensed in the state of California. I love what I do. My overall goal is to eliminate stereotypes and stigma surrounding issues of mental health, and to just normalize the fact that, you know, we all have life issues and life struggles and barriers and challenges that we're all trying to get over and get through. So, you know, I just want to eradicate the stigma behind that. I do have a private practice too, Life Bright Now, and you can catch up with that at lifebrightnow.com. Selfless, shameless little plug there. But yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. You guys, she has her master's in theology too. And she got so many other degrees, but we're not going to concentrate on that. Just know that she is qualified to be up in the house today, because you know your girl would not bring anybody up in here to talk to y'all.
Right.
But as I was saying early in the show when I was doing introductions, I started this segment, Doc, because my passion is to inspire, motivate, and educate my audience and listeners to be the best that they can be. I believe that we all have been placed and created for a specific purpose, and we have a job here on earth. And I believe personally, and I'm going to ask you to clarify all this and correct me wherever I'm wrong, because I have no ego. I personally believe when a person is not operating in that purpose, which sometimes I believe are revealed through dreams, you know, or desires or things that they like to do, but they don't really think that they can make a living off of it or be paid, you know, for it. I believe frustration comes when you're not doing that. I believe depression can come from that. And you can correct me through all of this. I'm just telling you, you know, what your girl believes. But
on point.
Okay. And I believe that, you know, life doesn't have the meaning, even for Christians or people who are religious. And I say that because we're not just talking to Christians, we're talking to people who live their life by whatever religion it is, or values, or culture, or whatever. I believe that human beings need to feel significant, like they belong, like they matter. And when those things aren't happening, I believe we begin to reach for things that may not be so good for us. So with that being said, my first question for you is, do you believe that human beings were created for a purpose? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
Okay.
Or why?
Absolutely. And I think I'm going to just start off by saying, I didn't know you had your degree in purposeology. I didn't know. But, you know, reel me in today. You know, I'm going to learn today. Everything you said is right on point. I absolutely, positively believe that we are all purposed on purpose.
Yes.
For sure.
Like
and
that.
Absolutely. There's so much that you said there that can be unpacked. I almost don't even know where to start, but I'm going to start here.
Okay.
Yes, Shelley Jones. We all have an innate desire to be loved for who we are authentically and to be accepted for who we are authentically.
That's good.
That's first things first.
Okay.
We all have that innate desire to come into any given space and be who we are.
And authentically, to me, that is the key.
Who we are.
Yes.
And many of us, especially, we're going to get into purpose, but especially when you're not purposed, feel the need to put on a mask, put on a different face, put on a different persona, pull out egos, or not egos, but yeah, maybe egos, super egos, in order to be accepted and validated in spaces. And at the end of the day, those things are not fulfilling, and they really don't truly validate, because you know that's not who you really are. So there's the issue there.
Okay.
I definitely feel like religious or not religious, spiritual or not spiritual, whichever route we're taking, we all do have purpose, and we all have another innate need to tap into that purpose, to feel like our lives are meaningful. And a lot of times we do find people that experience depression and anxiety because they haven't been able to settle in on what this life is all about.
Yeah, that's good.
They can relate to it in their own individual ways.
That's good. You know, let's deal with that for a second, because I know a lot of people that talk about depression, or people who, sometimes when I talk to them, clients, or I talk to everybody in the airport, on the plane, I just love to talk. But sometimes when I'm talking to people, they are describing what I see as depression. And again, I'm just on the outside looking in. I don't have any type of degree or anything, but just in working with people as many years as I have, it's something that I can pinpoint. And now I have been told that depression is anger turned inward. And so because I was told that, actually by a therapist. I thought, and I would normally ask a person, what are you angry about? And, and immediately they're able to tell me that. So tell me, do you agree that depression is anger turned inward?
I believe, and I come from a school of thought that sits on the understanding. Okay. And this is the understanding based on my personal experience. This is just my personal experience to validate this.
Okay.
Anger is a secondary emotion.
Right.
And not a primary emotion.
Right.
So in other words, to clarify, anger, there's usually something else underneath the anger that brings you to anger. So your first emotion, your first feeling, your first reaction is typically not anger when you think about it.
Right.
It's probably some form of hurt or sadness or frustration, disappointment that leads to anger. And so for me, depression is really you realizing those emotions and having a very difficult time processing, and coping and managing and healing from those emotions.
Gotcha. Thank you for clarifying that. My listeners are going to really love that, and I'm sure they're going to tune into that. Now, let's deal with some things that have happened recently in the headlines. One of which is not headline news, but I feel like it should be, my son-in-law. And then the situation that happened with the young lady, Nicole Linton, who blew through the intersection and hit those cars, and there were 6 deaths that were a result of it. I've been talking to my listeners. The first segment, I spoke to them about the importance of walking out your purpose. My biggest fear is living and dying and not doing what I was created to do or what I was purposed to do. I know I am doing that now. And there is such a sense of fulfillment. I may be tired. It may be, it's a sacrifice, but when I complete the task, what I feel on the inside, I can't even describe it. And I can't imagine not having that. It makes me wonder. It helps me with so many other issues that come in my life, like things that I can't control. Like the situation that happened with my son-in-law that made me very angry, that made me probably want to think about doing some things that probably would put me in jail, or when I'm dealing with someone in the grocery store, something as simple as someone cutting me off or being disrespectful or be a racist situation. Because I'm focused on a vision and a purpose for me, it makes it easier for me to adjust. because they're not important. That situation is not as important as where I'm headed to. You understand?
I do.
Where I'm going? It makes me wonder with Nicole, do you think that, and I know this is a very broad question, but you know, you're a doctor, so you can bring it into us.
Let's go.
Do you think that one of the reasons that we don't know exactly why she blew through that stoplight, but one of the things is a friend was saying she was arguing with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of us can relate to, arguing with a significant other. Do you think that has anything to do with lack of purpose? That if that was the case, because we don't know for sure, but if that were the case, and that were to be why she may have been drinking, because we don't know that for sure either, and that she did this horrible act that has now changed her life forever.
Right.
Do you think do you think that is a sign of lack of purpose? I know I know I'm reaching, but I'm going somewhere with it. I know. I was going to say
it's a reach. It's a reach.
So
I like to really, really humanize things.
Good. Okay.
Do it, please. To the best of my ability, I wanna get into her mind and into her shoes from my perspective.
Gotcha.
And I try to really objectively and subjectively figure out in my space, me in my space. Now, I'm a person, we can talk more about what purpose actually is, but I'm a person that, like you, feels like I am purposed and I am operating in my purpose. But there's still a human side of me that has the privilege of experiencing just a whole barrage of emotions at any given time.
Gotcha.
So with that being said, I have been frustrated before. I have been mad. I've been angry. I've been sad. I've wanted to, get revenge. I've hurt people. I've been hurt. Like I've had an experience, the human emotional experience. So right now I'm married. I've been upset with my husband. And in those states, those mental mind states, I've said things that I wish I could take back.
Right.
I've done things that I've, at some point regret.
Yeah.
So I can't judge her there. I cannot connect that emotional state to purpose, because I've come to learn that she's a nurse.
Yes.
And a traveling nurse.
Yes.
And very good chance that she feels very purposed and fulfilled in her profession.
Right.
But that was put on the back burner in the heat of whatever happened.
Yeah, whatever was going on. Yeah, whatever was going on.
And sometimes our emotions can be in front of us. We're not thinking about our passion and our careers and in that moment, our children and our jobs and our future and stuff like that. That's the human experience.
Yeah, and if I can say here, and that's so good, because it's important for us to know that even though your purpose and could be walking in your purpose, like we believe, and I believe too, that she could possibly be doing that. That's why I wanted to bring this up, because I wanted to bring up a little controversy, because I heard somebody say that. But even in prison, she can still continue to walk in her purpose, right?
Yes. So, with this case, we have a natural inclination to just our sympathy pours out to those people who died.
Of course.
And their families.
Absolutely.
We learned that there were children that died.
Absolutely.
There was a person pregnant.
That
died. So immediately, our hearts lean towards the loss of life and the gravity of that in so many lives. And me too. Immediately, my heart leans there.
Right.
But the people that I see in session are usually the Nicoles.
Right. Exactly.
I do see grieving families. I do see grieving families. It's a different kind of session, because I'm going to walk those people through that grieving process and help to get them to healing. Right. But when I encounter people like Nicole, the road to healing looks different.
Mm.
It unpacks different, it processes different. So my mind and my heart, it has a space for her too.
Absolutely, as it should.
It definitely has a space.
Yeah.
And as we're talking purpose, it doesn't take me long to think, I hope that in the midst of this, when she's able to finally settle and wrap her mind around this and accept that this is what it is, and the fate, whatever the fate is going to be, is what it is. I'm hoping that she can find a new sense of purpose.
Yes.
In this.
Yes.
Because she didn't pass.
Yeah.
She's still here. So
yeah.
She's still here. So there's
still something
for her
yes,
somewhere
for her to do.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot that this testimony is not good right now.
Right.
But if she can get to the other side of it, then there's a lot of help and healing that she can provide for
others.
Someone else.
Yes.
And
I
that's
think
really what purpose is about.
And that's really, I was just going to say that, girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really what purpose is about.
That's really what purpose is about. Okay. So let's bring it down, because I want my audience to be able to take this and apply it to them. And it would be easy to say, I didn't kill nobody, so this doesn't apply to me.
Correct.
So let's talk about that person who was working in a job that they hate. They know that they have been called to do something else, but they're afraid. I spoke in my first segment about some ways to get started. The first segment was about practical execution. This segment is about mental health execution. Okay. So I would like for you to what would you tell that person? If that person came into and sat on your couch or chair or whatever you have, what would you say to them?
The first thing I would share with that person is that your purpose is not necessarily connected to your profession.
That's good.
And that purpose and success are two different things.
Okay, that's good.
Your purpose, your real life purpose can be walked out in any profession. And it may lead to the worldly definition of success, or it may simply land on personal success and fulfillment.
That's good.
In a nutshell, purpose, the intersection of passion and pain is where purpose lives.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so repeat that.
Okay. Purpose lives. You'll find your purpose at the intersection of your passion and your pain. So pain first, typically. It's those painful experiences that we are privileged as human people to experience. And I say privilege because as a human person, I'm able to experience a vast number of different emotions, good, bad, and indifferent. But it's the painful emotions, it's the painful experience, it's the trauma that leads us to passion. And when I combine my passion and my pain, I'm sitting on top of purpose. It's the reason why you have a show that is driven to motivate, educate, inspire.
Yes.
Without having talked to you about your experiences.
Right.
There's something painful behind there that says, I want to help people.
Absolutely.
I want to help somebody else to prevent this or grow from this or heal from this.
Absolutely.
So to the person at the quote unquote dead end job that they just cannot wait to get out of, there's purpose there.
Yeah.
I would say glean whatever you can from that job, learn from whatever you can on that job and keep it pushing, and it's innate.
Yes.
So let me, if you don't mind, I'm gonna share from a very personal place.
Sure.
I've learned that my purpose is to edify, it is to uplift, it's to encourage. That's what I'm purposed to do. And I also, when I learned this some years ago, but when I look back over my life, I realized that I was doing it in every space I was in. I didn't, your purpose is kind of watered down when you're unaware of it.
Right.
But the minute you tap into what it is, you can capitalize on it and you can become just a powerful force. So imagine now, I am an encourager, an uplifter, an edifier, and my profession is a psychotherapist. It was when I learned this is what I do. It's already in me. It's what I've been doing before I even knew. So 9 times out of 10, you're operating in purpose, but operating in purpose unbeknownst has a weakened effect, if you will.
Got it. Okay, so let me just sum that up, because the last segment I gave them in practical execution, I gave them some ways to get out of that situation. So I used the example of someone who wanted to be an author. And I told them, based on, my friend Victoria, who says, just write every day. Writers write. If you want to write, you write. And then I gave the example of someone who wanted to be an actor or an actress. And I told them that if this is something that you want to do and you want to come out of your job, then you need to look at, this is a little bit more difficult. You need to look at your finances. You need to see if you need to scale. You need to look at your living situation. Are you where you need to be? You either need to be in New York or California. You need to look at your education. Do you need to take classes? Because you just can't be on the set looking crazy. If they tell you to stay,
right about it.
They're going to look at you like, do you know what you're doing? So, so I love this, what you said, but if in the meantime, purpose, and see, this is so great because I was leading more towards purpose in action and in a career, but you just broke it all the way down for us, which is why I had you on here. Cause I don't know what I'm talking about with some of these things. And I'm okay with that.
You do.
But I love how you said, so in the meantime, that purpose, because it's already in you, you can execute it on your job. You can execute it. It may not be right in your job, but you can execute it while you are on your job. You can execute it while you are on your way to changing that career. And I think, and I could be wrong, but I feel that when you do that, it makes it a lot easier to transition because your focal point, you're going to take purpose with you. You're going to take it with you. You
have no choice.
Exactly. So when you become the actor or the actress, you're still going to be operating in your purpose. You'll just have a different career, a different, job title. When you write that book, and then if the book is supporting you full time, you're still going to take your purpose with you. You'll just be the author now who is operating. And a very good example of that is Viola Davis. She's a very good example, right?
Correct.
And if you guys, if you have not read Viola Davis's book yet, is it not amazing?
So I haven't read it, but I feel like I have because it's been read to me from like 15 different people.
Oh, Doc, you got
to
get it.
And it's just the rave. I've heard so many stories from the book.
Yes.
But she is a wonderful example of purpose lived out.
Yes. And because her career, she realized, a lot of people realize this, and we are running out of time. Let me check time. Okay, we have a little bit more time. I have heard so many people who are successful financially, have the career that they believe they want, and still be depressed because they have not connected it with purpose.
They have not connected it.
Yes, and you just broke that down for us right now when you just explained what purpose was. And
what purpose is not.
And what purpose is not. Exactly.
That's the bigger thing. Yeah. What it is not. I think it's important for us to ask ourselves an important question. What's your why? And that's from the mental health standpoint. What's your why also helps you a lot. It's a tool, it's a question that I use as a tool in session. If you come to me and you say, well, Dr. Crawford, I'm feeling depressed today. The first thing I want to know is why. You want to know why. You're coming to me to find out why. So we're going to process and we're going to dig in there and figure out why.
Right.
So to lend back to what you're saying, and you get into profession, we take this passion, we take this pain, and then we ask, what's the why? We figure out what our gifts and talents are. And we know what our gifts and we need to be very realistic about
what our gifts and talents
are. All gifted to sing and dance.
Right. Hello.
You got to know that.
I can back you up, but I am not gifted to, that's not my,
So some of us are stuck because we're not realistic about what you do. So, I mean, there's a combination of things, and I'm trying to throw them in a small amount of time.
Right.
But most of us are gifted in more than one area. So for me, it's what's your why? Why do you want to be an author? You'll figure that out. And when you do, you'll learn that there's some passion and pain that goes into your authorship.
So good.
It's going to pour out of your writings, your books, your journals, your blogs, or whatever you're doing. As an actor or actress, your passion and your pain is going to pour out of the characters that you portray on stage or on screen. As a builder or an architect, that passion, that pain, it's going to pour out in the work that you do. As a carpenter, and I'm trying to fold in different professions.
As a hairstylist,
creative, some of it is more practical hands-on work. It doesn't matter, is the point that I'm making. There's a passion and pain, which we don't like to highlight, it goes into all of it, when you're purposed.
That is so good. Listen, I am going to have you back because there are so many topics that we can touch upon, and I'm definitely going to make sure. This is we had to record this video because this interview because of course I could not get you live because you're so busy, but that's okay.
That's okay.
But I'm going to make sure that we put all of your information up because I want people to find you. You guys, Dr. Shalonda Crawford, Dr. Sunshine, is in private practice. And so you can go sit on her couch and let her love on you through psychotherapy. And I'm really excited about being able to introduce you to my audience because mental health is a real thing. And we really have to be more kind to ourselves about what our needs are.
For sure.
And to not make ourselves feel bad or less than or a failure because we need to go talk to someone about what we're dealing with. And I appreciate the fact that you are doing that, that you are standing here saying, hey, I'm here and I've gotten the credentials. I've done what I need to do. Let me help you. So thank you for that. We don't have a lot of time, but I would like to just give you the floor to just say, give a few nuggets to people who are out there trying to make it in today's world.
Well, I'm gonna cap it off with the importance of minding your mind. Mental health is very, very, very important. Earlier I said, what's your why? But minding your mind is even more important than that. The human experience causes all of us, no one is exempt, to face difficulties, life challenges, struggles, barriers, psychological tension. And the best thing you can do for yourself is get some assistance when you need it. It's a form of self-care. So tapping into a therapist or counselor or a good friend, because sometimes a good friend is therapy as well too. Tapping into those things is self-care. And I just want to really emphasize and stress that self-care is not selfish. You're only as available to anyone else as you can be to yourself.
Yes, that's good.
And so mind your mind and stop being selfish about your self-care.
I love that. I love that. Mind your mind. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Doc. I appreciate you. I am definitely going to have you back. I am so excited about this segment. I believe it's going to inspire, motivate, and educate so many people. And that is definitely what I want to do. So we're going to put up all your information so that everybody can see and find you. And you didn't talk about your talk show, but you have a talk show on KBLA. Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. You guys, you can hear Dr. Sunshine on KBLA. Get the app. You can go and get the app. Yeah, download that app, KBLA. What is the
every
call?
Sunday morning? It's the Dr. Sunshine Show.
But what is the call for the radio? Is it what? It's 10.
It's KBLA Talk 1580 AM.
1580
AM.
Y'all, those of y'all who have been in California, y'all remember 1580
It used to be K-Day back in the day.
Yeah, it used to be K-Day.
Yeah.
So go on there now. I think Tavis Smiley is
owned and
the
operated,
owner.
yeah.
Yes, y'all, let's support a brother. Let's support my sis here. Go listen. She's got some great guests on there, and you're gonna really, if you are really about minding your mind and self-care, you want to tune in. Tell y'all know how I do. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister, tell everybody. Bring them on through, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Doc. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and we're gonna have you back. Definitely.
I would love to come back, Shelley Jones. I love you. Thank you so much. I'm very honored to be a part of this discussion with you. I'll look for you and your audience on the various ways to reach out to me. But thank you so much. Mwah. I love you.
You are so welcome. I love you too. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye, girl.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that interview was amazing. So many things, so many nuggets in the interview, but some key things that she said that just really hit home with me is the part where she says, Tanya, you are so welcome. The part where she says, purpose is where passion meets pain. I mean, that was just really good. And one of our listeners said, that's a tweetable quote right there. Purpose lies at the intersection of passion and pain. Yes, purpose lies at the intersection of passion and pain. That is so interesting because we want to deal with the passion, but we don't want to deal with the pain. And I love when she said, mind your mind, because, we're always minding our body. We're minding other people's business, but mind your mind. Trauma happens, things happen. And sometimes we can get up physically from those things, but mentally we get stuck. And, society tells us most of the time, especially African-American people, that you're just supposed to shake it off. So what, you were in slavery for hundreds of years, shake it off, get it together. You shouldn't have any mental issues today, So yeah, this is definitely, if you guys need any type, don't be ashamed. Okay. I have gone to therapy. It has helped me. We need sometimes to talk to someone, and someone who, Dr. Shalonda Crawford, she is, she's got her doctorates, all the certifications. She's a psychotherapist. She's an African-American woman who, can relate to so many things. Make sure that when you do find someone, you find a good therapist, someone that you can relate to. She's definitely someone that I feel like I could relate to if I was in the therapy need right now. And she's my friend, so sometimes I go to her. But anyway, that interview was really great. I want to say this. There's two things I want to say. First thing I want to say is this. I'm in the LA area, and those of you who are in the LA area, this situation that happened with Nicole Linton is a serious thing, and it has a little cloud over LA right now, particularly in that Windsor Hills area. And they are trying to do, the community, and the mayor is doing something to help the community, which I think is completely awesome. So they're going to have a panel at, let me get this information because I want to read it. They're going to have a panel at Park Hills Community Church in Windsor Hills. Park Hills Community Church in Windsor Hills. They're going to have a panel of people. Dr. Shalonda Crawford, Dr. Sunshine, is going to be on that panel. And they're going to be giving information and resources for the community because the community is hurting. And I think it's just really great that the mayor and the congresswoman and men are coming together to give that community, the churches, the the people in the community. It takes a village, you guys. It takes every last one of us to operate. We need each other. We can run around here and think that we're an island, but we're not. And it really shows up how much we need each other when we have things like this happen in this community where a whole family lost a family. Someone lost their daughter and their sister. She was pregnant. She was 8 months pregnant. The baby is gone. She had an 11-month-old child. That child is gone. Her boyfriend is gone. There were 2 other young ladies that were in another car. Both of them are gone. It's my understanding that one of them is from Belize. I don't know her name, but they're asking for help to send her body back home. So she has no family here. So we need each other. And this is the time when it just really does my heart good to find out when the community is doing things like this. So I'm really glad to hear that. The other thing that I wanted to say, just real short, in the video, you guys heard me mention something about my son-in-law. So I want to talk about that. On Friday or Saturday morning, my son-in-law, who was doing Uber Eats, was shot. He had gone to the stop. He was getting ready to deliver the food, and he realized that the order was wrong. And in the little bit of time that he was trying to figure out what he was going to do, he was on his phone, and his car was parked on a street that was blocked off because of construction. This is in Chicago. And in the midst of him trying to figure out where the restaurant was, because he decided he was going to take the food back and get the right order and bring it to the person that he was delivering to, 4 men opened fire on him. And he tried to get away. He had to do a U-turn because the street was blocked off. And as he was trying to flee, they opened fire on him again. He crashed. They started running towards the car. The alarm went off on the car, and the car called OnStar. OnStar called 911. And when the perpetrators heard this, the attempted murderers, I'm going to say, heard this, they fled like the cowards they are. By the grace of God, my son, I call him my son, was hit one time, one non-threatening bullet, and he was released from the hospital today. I give all glory and honor and praise to God because the situation could have been completely different. I am so sick of violence. I'm so sick of this needless hatred and this needless violence. We did not understand why someone would do that to him. They were literally trying to kill him. Later on, we found out that it was a gang hit. And there were 4 shootings in this neighborhood that he was in just in this month. And today is only the 10th. Something has got to change. I cannot physically go to those young men and wrap my arms around them and tell them that God loves them and how angry I am with them and that they need to stop. But what I can do is I can pray for them. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm hurting and I'm angry, but I have peace about the situation with my son-in-law because he's okay. But there are many situations like this that the person did not come out okay. The Nicole Linton situation. And this particular situation with my son-in-law is Black and these young men were Latino. Listen, you guys, we got to stop this. We got to stop this. We cannot continue to do this. We need each other. We are not islands. This racism crap between each other, it has to stop. This needless killing of our African-American men, of Latino men, it has to stop. We cannot do this anymore. So I know how to pray, and I have prayed over these young men, and I have prayed over the situation. My family knows how to pray. My son-in-law is good. We're going to make sure that he gets everything that he needs to come out victorious over this. And I'm not just talking about in his body. I'm talking about mind in his mind as well. But I want those, if I could talk to those young men right now, what I would say to you, you shot at the right one, because now you got a whole host of people. We may not be able to arrest you physically, but we're arresting you spiritually. Justice will come first. And then after that, we are praying. Well, we are praying and believing that you for your soul salvation, and that you will have a Saul to Paul experience. So you won't have any peace because you've got people praying for you, and the prayers of the righteous availeth much. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Yes, praise God. Everything is good. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, in the name of Jesus. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Listen, if you enjoyed this show, we have many, many more to come. I have so many people that I'm going to bring on. I want to expose what I'm bringing, my Rolodex, to you guys. So come in and get the knowledge. Come in and get the information. We've got everything from how to make tea to PR, from moms who have kids that have made it to the NFL and what that took. Moms who have kids who are D1 players and what it took to do that. I mean, hey, Vernon, there are so many things that I want to offer to you. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Next week, I'm going to have Pastor Shep Crawford on, and we're going to continue this segment on purpose. And he's going to talk about it from a spiritual side, from the Bible. And let me tell you, if y'all ain't ready, you better get ready, because this man right here, he's about to drop and bring some nuggets. So I'm so excited about this. Thank you so much for joining your girl on the Shelley Jones Show. Next week, same time, Wednesday, 6:30. I will see you there. Peace. Bye.
Let me take a moment, maybe sometime next week. Maybe I can help.